Okay, let's see. Hello. I'm 15 minutes early, so I will do greetings at noon. Still setting up, so please bear with. Mm. Get some chill vibes going for doing a photogrammetry. Heyo! What's up, Alice? We'll see you soon. Oh, thank you. Let me see if I can fix that. My mixer is coming today, but it's not here yet. How's that? Better? A tad quite bit loud, perhaps? Oh, I'm also too loud. Okay, hang on. Let's see. I mean, honestly, if I'm loud, that means you might need to turn down your volume. I'm gonna stick here and let me know if that's too much. Hiding that. Oh, I'm a tad bit quiet. Quiet. Okay, let me do this one more time. Hang on. I'm gonna boost everything. How's that? Is that better? Hopefully that's better. You'll let me know, I'm sure. So today we're gonna do a photogrammetry. This, th this is reality capture. Okay, trying again. Hang on. Getting a mixer is really gonna change my life. So, oh, here we go. This is, how's that? Is that, wow, that's too much. That's gotta be better. Is that okay, Alice? This is reality capture. Okay, music needs to go down by half. Oof, this is tough. That's half of music volume, so hopefully that's the right mix. Hey, better, thank you. Okay, so this is reality capture. We'll be want to tell you about Freeway Park. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to talk about why I canceled yesterday's stream. And I'm wondering a little bit what you might think of some of what I'm planning here. Hang on, I'm still getting organized. Hold please. Okay, so one more thing here. Let's try. So yesterday I went and shot a bunch of photos. Oh, you can't see that. Hang on. What if I did this? And this. Yesterday I went and shot a bunch of photos. I'm going to dump them into reality capture and see what kind of a model it'll spit out. There's a lot of bits and bobs involved in getting a solid model out of your photos for photogrammetry. Unity put out a really great guide, I think early last year, that has some great tips about best practices, let's just say. I went out there and I was just winging it, to be honest. I was just winging it. But one of the keys is to try to de-light your images. So I'm actually going to just delete these kind of blown out ones because they're not going to provide much information to the algorithm, I guess. So let's just go through and delete. Send to delete. Okay. So that was cool. Now let's talk about what happened on last night's stream. So last night I was gonna do a dev stream. And all this biz happened where I was on the wrong Unity version, and not only was I on the wrong Unity version, but I needed to use some packages that the package manager needed to load or whatever. And like, I don't know. Yeah, right? I'm wondering if I should just go to 2019.1 and leave it on auto update, to be honest. But, yeah, I guess one thing I'm wondering is, like, when you watch YouTube tutorials about kind of dev bullshit, they're not figuring it out as they go. But here on stream, I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. Last night I decided to do that on my own rather than bore you all with me kind of bumping along figuring things out. But is that boring? I was into it, you know? I'm not sure what, so I'm gonna bump my way through doing a photogrammetry. Long story longer. I don't know why I like to add the definite article. Thanks, Alice. I hope so. I'm gonna bump my way through this, and we'll see how it turns out, to be honest. So I might queue up a YouTube video, or, you know, read something off to the side while I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Actually, I'm gonna go grab my laptop and get it set up over here so I can refer to it. Okay, so got my laptop here, I got my tutorials. So let's just start by, well, let me go through my little Freeway Park presentation. So there's this park in Seattle called Freeway Park. It's right downtown, and coincidentally enough, it's over the freeway. Here you can see how part of it kind of, you know, overlaps the freeway, and then the freeway kind of overlaps part of it. It's kind of interesting. Here you can see it right after it was built. All the trees are, you know, still really small because they were just planted. Whereas, you know, if you take another look at kind of the same spot here, this is 20 or 30 years on, and the trees are much, much larger. But there's something that's really interesting to me about Freeway Park. Here's a similar park in Portland by the same designer, Lawrence Halperin. I was actually listening to a 1982 lecture from Halperin the other day, and it's really interesting how much some of the way that we talk about some of this stuff has changed in the 37 years since that lecture. He was a bit minimizing to some of the cultures that he was studying and referencing, and it's really strange language that I don't think we would use now. I think that Freeway Park and this kind of urban design looks a lot like the Vex architecture in Destiny. You know, maybe you see it, maybe you don't. I see it a lot. Also, you have to chill for a second there, video. Right? Right? So, I guess I can't mute this when it's in my slide here. But this is all in Freeway Park, you know, Emerald City Comic Con. This is all Freeway Park. So if you were there at Emerald City Comic Con, or if you looked at any of the cosplay photos, you know, everybody takes their photos out back in the park. It's a really cool space. So one of the first things that I do is I used to study landscape architecture, and one of the first things that we do is we do what we call a figure ground study. You know, we try and understand the positive and negative space. So I printed out a little Google map and I did that. But when I got to the park, it looks like, you know, this Finding Freeway Park group has been doing these same type of studies, right? They're obviously urban planners. So it was cool, you know, after drawing my little figure ground to see a really similar figure ground study, looking at the positive and negative space of the park. And today's photogrammetry is going to kind of focus on this area. we can see it here. So first things first is going to be, wow, I might have to recap all that because it's only just now noon, and that's when I told people I'd be starting. So if anybody else joins, right now it's just you and me, Alice, but if anybody else joins, I will definitely do a quick recap there. So let's get our photos into reality capture. How do I do it? Let me check my tutorial over here. Inputs. Add one or more images or laser scans. Alright, let's just go for that whole photo that I've got on my desktop. Or that whole folder, not photo, folder. Hey, okay, not bad. We doing it. Next step. Align images. I think that's right. You know, maybe I should actually save. Can I save? I might actually leave out this street level stuff because I think these cars are going to get in my way here, to be honest. Well, this is interesting. Yeah, so this is what I mean. Like, I'm gonna bump around and try and figure out what's going on in this program. I don't really know it very well yet, but I really want to learn it. So hopefully we can learn it together, or like you can ride along while I learn it. And hopefully that's interesting. And like you say, Alice, hopefully I can make that interesting. So I think that my next move is what if I just hit delete? Nope. And what if I hit Control S? Cool, I'm gonna save this project. Today is 4/4/19 Union Street. Cool. So now that that's saved, let's try and align our images. No idea how long this is going to take. You don't even see. So I've got a pop-up here that says that it's expecting to run for the next 12 minutes to align all these images. You don't see that pop-up, so that's good to know. Yeah, so what else can I talk about in, so another thing, another thing that's important to understand is this is going to create a highly dense, mesh. Mesh is the word. And that's not going to be very valuable to bring into Unity or any kind of real-time system that that we might want to use these meshes for. It won't be valuable for web, VR, or like uploading to Sketchfab or anything. So even after aligning all of these images and generating a mesh out of them, we're gonna need to do some kind of retopology. Retopology is, for those of you who don't know, obviously Alice, you know. Well, maybe Alice, do you want to explain retopology? No, I'm just kidding. I got it. You're probably on mobile. Retopology is basically simplifying a mesh, but then applying the same material and texture, and maybe also kind of baking the detail from the higher res mesh or texture, baking the detail from the higher res mesh into a texture to apply to a lower res mesh. I think that's probably the easiest way to wrap your head around it. And there's like lots of different bits and bobs of how to do it. I don't really know how to do it. So I don't know. I think that we have some simplification tools here in reality capture here. But we might need to get a specific mesh tool. We'll find out. Heyo, okay, what do we got? We got something. Okay. So that looks kind of like... Huh. We only did these 2 images. That's hilarious. And already we've kind of got, you know, an interesting kind of cloud that kind of shows the exterior of this staircase. If I go back to here, right, we're seeing this. We're seeing the exterior of that staircase here. This. You can't see my arrow. So, but that's because I only, and now can you see it? Now can you see my arrow? Yeah. I only added these 2 images to the alignment. So, how are we gonna do this? What are we gonna do here? We want to here you can see the handful of cameras. Oh, I got a few in there. This is so interesting. But none of this is in there. Okay. So what I actually want to do is I want to kind of do this and then hit align images. So this is saying it's going to take me about a minute. So I gotta fill time for a minute. Let's see. Yeah, so there's, you know, I recently quit my job. I think you know that, Alice. I used to be involved in kind of the AR stuff, and I'm trying to get back to doing that. Oh, we're done. Okay, no more filling time, I guess. So what do we got now? Well, this is very interesting, isn't it? You can see what I did was I walked up the kind of this side and shot this side, and then I walked down this side and shot that side. So I'm going to adjust my bounding box just a little bit. Let's see. How do I want to view this from the top so I can... adjust my bounding box. Okay. right? That's looking pretty good. That's got most of that information that I'm interested in. So now what do? We've aligned our images. We have this pretty rad point cloud. I guess our next step is calculate model. What are our options here? Yeah, let's do it. So this says, you can't see it, says reconstruction in normal detail. It's estimating about 2 minutes. Yeah, so in that Unity guide, there's lots of interesting, I wish I had a way to put a link on screen that you could click. Do I have a way to do that? I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna look that up. Oh, I bet I could post it in the chat. Bear with. That's weird. Hey, so go to this link, and you can see Unity's photogrammetry workflow guide. It looks like it was late 2017, not early 2018. It's a big old guide. It's got a lot of interesting stuff. It talks about like what photo settings to use. You know, ISO 100 to avoid noise. Like I say, yesterday I went out there, I was just winging it. I did my best to try and get everything to have the same kind of de-lit grayscale value, but you know, winging it. Let's see. Oh, this is saying 7 minutes now to build the model. So we've talked about retopo. Yeah, I don't think that I want to put the videos that I'm watching up on screen, like up there above the chat or something. Do you think that would be helpful to see what I'm referencing? For those of you just joining us, today we're trying a photogrammetry stream. Yeah, I have no idea how this is going or going to go. So I'm just kind of gonna wing it, and I'll take some notes afterward, and we'll do more of what worked and less of what didn't. So yeah, we're about a third done with reconstructing the mesh on this part of Freeway Park. If you're just joining us, let's talk about Freeway Park. Freeway Park is a park in Seattle. It was built downtown in like the 70s. The landscape architect was trying to heal when they added all the freeways to the cities in the 60s, like we could could do a whole series on that. And a lot of minority communities were kind of destroyed because that land was decided to be, you know, not valuable enough that the government could take it for the freeway. That definitely happened in Minneapolis, Twin Cities, when the freeway went through there. I don't yet know the history of the freeway in Seattle, but I will be looking it up and we'll talk about it in a future video. But the landscape architect who made this park was trying to heal the kind of gap. Oh, I'm frozen. There we go. Sorry, it looks like I froze for a sec as my video card was choking on building this mesh. We're about half done at 5 minutes, so give it about another 5 minutes, and our mesh will be built. Yeah, so the landscape architect was trying to heal the gap from kind of First Hill, Capitol Hill, and downtown that was created by running the freeway right through that part of town. Here's what it looked like when it was built. You can see it doesn't have those mature trees that it has now. Hitched a little again. Hang in there, video card. I can hear you purring away. Here's a similar park that the same landscape architect did in Portland. I think it looks a lot like the Vex architecture in Destiny. This is where they hold our Seattle Comic-Con, is at the convention center. In this photo, you can see this is the, you can see the convention center in your top left. And the plaza kind of center top is a lot of the cosplay photos happen there. I could show you the video, but it takes over the audio, and that's just like no good. Yeah, so we're working on this kind of Union Street entrance. And you can see it right here. So, whew, yeah, this mesh sure is taking its sweet time. Sweet, sweet time. So, bear with for a few. I'm going to do a little bit more research on my next steps. One of my goals is to build a 3D model of Freeway Park, the whole thing, the whole thing. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to capture pieces of it, build photogrammetry models, then I'll reassemble them later in Game Engine to make it real-time navigable. That's the plan, at least. Let's see how that goes. Another thing that I'm interested in with this workflow is taking some photos and meshing, and then building, taking more photos and adjusting my mesh, or, you know, updating it. That seems to be...
One at a time. You're just moving these pieces. I think of 4. Just do something. I don't care what you do.
That seems to be one of the advantages of... I'm sorry, you just heard me burp. One of the advantages of this tool is that you can go back and update your meshes with new data. I also hope to capture a bunch of this with drone. No, that's illegal. So yeah, there's a lot to sink my teeth into with this project, and I'm really grateful to all of you for coming along on this journey. So we're about 2/3 done meshing. At 9 minutes, so that's probably about another 4 minutes. And this is all just, you know, a test to see how this can work on stream. It's a bit weird of a thing to do, to hit a button and then just let a mesh bake for 15 minutes. But we're trying it. We're doing it. I shot everything so far with my Nikon D560 or 5600 D5600. I have a 18 to 55 millimeter lens. I had it mostly on 18 millimeter when I was shooting. I don't know if this is ideal. This is just what I have. I didn't use a tripod. I didn't use a monopod to get higher shots. I was just winging it, so. Got some interesting text messages here, hang on. For me, less for you. Do you think I should update now to 2019-1? Like, I'm only just starting to wrap my head around the different rendering pipelines, having updated 2018-3. I think I want to spend a little bit of time on them, understanding how these things work before just going all in on data-oriented tech stack. What do you think, Alice? Also, our mesh is almost done here, so hopefully stay tuned, something's about to happen. Hey, we're done. Whoa, 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 look at this. Look at this weird mesh. You can see that I didn't get enough data here on some of these steps. That makes super total sense, Alice. So we've got this badass. I think that parts of it could. I feel like I'm shouting. I feel like we've got this like excess meshing, right? Like here, can you see my arrow? Here it does look like a bush. I think that we've got some inside out stuff going on here. Like maybe I didn't draw the bounding box tight enough, or, you know? Also, I didn't include any of these exterior photos that I think might have helped some. Or did I? I feel really good though about this stuff, about the detail I got on these walls. These railings look, they're at least in the right place, you know? Though you can see that there's a lot of issues. I'm wondering too, yeah, see, that's good, the way that I got this. There were these light, yeah, this right here, there were these light fixtures. Let's see. Well, let's just keep going, right? Let's just see what happens. Whoa. Let's save where we're at. Whoa. Thanks, Alice. And let's just hit simplify, see what happens. Whoa. Okay. This looks like it'll take about another minute. I feel like I've noticed that documentation for this tool is kind of thin. So I've done some research to find some documentation, but a lot of this is just me winging it. Yeah, see, this looks bushy to me. We've got these overhead bushes. I feel like I need to take this into a different tool to kind of clean up some of these, some of this. So, again, let's just No. I think that's wrong. We're just going through it. We're just winging it. Another thing that I'm super interested in doing is, thanks, Alice. You know, we can make a mesh here, but we can also, I think, just export the point cloud. So that could lead to lots of different kinds of visualizations that we could do. If yeah, if we really leaned into exploring all the different file types that we could get out of this. At a minute, I'm about half done with texturing the model. So another thing that I've been thinking about is how much is it necessary to try and create this from photogrammetry, and how possible is it to create it just by sculpting? Freeway Park is made up of lots of simple shapes. Right. VFX Graph can take point clouds. That's what I was working on last night, was setting up VFX Graph. Also, if we learn how to play with point clouds, I think I can dust off my Connect from the back of my closet, and we can do all kinds of fun, weird things. Okay, this looks fucking dope. Huh? Come on. That's pretty cool. Hell yeah. So, what we gonna do? Well, let's export a mesh.
It's gonna be hard to do. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. So I've got okay. FBX, OBJ, point cloud, some other stuff, some AutoCAD files. Let's just go with an FBX for now. Sorry, you can't. I've got a pop-up window that is asking. I'm sorry, I'm so burpy today. That's asking me for my how I want to export. Another thing that's really interesting to me about this tool is that you can, let's say that I had captured some of this with my drone, and so I had the GPS data. You can export this in a coordinate system, which I think could really be valuable for, so-called world-scale AR, but we'll get there. Let's learn the tool first. Export texture file format. I feel like JPEG is better than PNG. bed texture, true. Export to single texture file, true. All right, let's just give it a shot. Oh, look at that. It's spring in Seattle, so the cherry blossoms are like leaving petals everywhere. It's kind of great. Yeah, thanks, Alice. This has like an upload to Sketchfab button. PNG also has alpha and JPEG doesn't. Okay, well, I don't have my Sketchfab API token, so I can't do it right from here. You can even kind of see like where the mesh is blobby. But dang, if that's not pretty flippin' good. Out and put some game asset plants in there. Clip this. Okay. So this looks like I could Oh, no, it didn't. I thought that just cleaned up all this junk. Okay, well, I want to be able to just like delete these selected pieces. Can I do that? Okay, well, I mean, dang, that's what I set out to do, so. Let's look and see how that model came. Ooh. So if we go back here, I think this is, yeah, this is the texture. How crazy is that? And this is project file. This is gotta be the FBX. Windows 10 has a 3D viewer. Oh yeah, let me show you this. Hold please. 3D. So, no, it's not working. Okay. Well, I mean, this is pretty dope. I think I can push this up to. It's a million triangles. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this up to Sketchfab. And then maybe in my next photogrammetry stream, we can work on retopo. So let's push it up to Sketchfab. Should probably switch to here. Hi. I hope I can remember my Sketchfab password. Yeah, that's what I thought. Log in with Google. Hunk spouse. I see, I wasn't signed in with my Hunk spouse account, I was signed in with my other account. That's cool, let's start a freshie. So, I'll have to change the link on my stream page down there in just a second. Upload model. Free plan for Sketchfab. Ugh, I picked a dude avatar, of course. Let's just go to upload. It's processing. So, model will be there. The model will be there. After it finishes processing, so feel free to go take a look. Yeah, I'm gonna change my, let me confirm my email. Sorry, I'm going through this whole registration process right now. Yeah, let's confirm our email. Well, ah, I know. Nope, not the thing. That was not that thing. Why is it saved as a draft? Okay, looks like the model's up on Sketchfab, so feel free to hit that link in the chat, and you can see it there. I will work on finding a way to put this into a mesh editor so that I can clean up some of these blocky... Thanks, Alice. Yeah, I'll figure out a way to get this into the mesh editor so that I can clean up all the blocky triangles that are completely unnecessary. Yeah. This might actually work. That's blowing my mind right now. This might actually work. I had a job interview yesterday, and whoa. And I was telling them how interested I was in this photogrammetry project, and it seemed, you know, I hadn't started yet, so it seemed like I was just making stuff up. Even to me, even I thought I was just making stuff up, but no, this might work. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. I didn't really have something planned for when I finished this. I didn't have any sense of how long it would take. Yeah, so is that it? Is the stream over? Are we done? Did we do it? We might have did it. Thanks, Alice. I think that, yeah, that might be it for today's photogrammetry stream. I think we learned some things. I think we have some more things to explore, so that's good. Yeah, one thing to explore is mesh editing. Another thing to explore is, I'm saying these out loud so that I can remember them and write them down. Mesh editing, probably in Blender. Another thing to explore is point cloud export, and where we can import point clouds into Unity VFX Graph, what have you. Point cloud editing, is that possible? Could I do that in Reality Capture? I think that's really a great place to start. So, yeah, come back next Thursday when we'll have another photogrammetry stream. And we'll explore some of those things and make another mesh of another piece of where's my, oh, it's not that one, it's this one. You know, maybe we'll do the Convention Center Plaza, something that we can start to see how these pieces are gonna fit together. So come back next Thursday for photogrammetry streams, and since my mixer is supposed to arrive today, come back Saturday evening, Pacific time, and we'll play games, but with decent sound. Won't that be nice? Rather than the weird crappy mixing that I've been doing, just trying to blast stuff over the speakers to get picked up by my mic. Yeah, so come back Saturday for a game stream, and next Thursday for a photogrammetry stream. You can see my schedule down below if you're watching on Twitch. I think that's it. Thanks for coming by. Thanks, Alice, for hanging out. You're the best. I can't wait to see you in a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat some lunch. Have a good day, y'all.